Welcome guys to a brand new video today, and we're going to be discussing the inflation. It's part of the inflation anyway, but it's more about retired people. People that have to go back to work, regardless of working 30, 40, 50 years and then retiring, and then all of a sudden have to go back to work due to inflation. This is a ongoing problem that we're having in the world right now. It's not just America, it's all over the world. So let's dive right into the video, guys. Okay, older Floridians are going back to work as life gets less affordable. Larry Ginsick could not hear his alarm, so when it went off at 5 a.m., his wife nudged him awake. A half hour later, he was out the door, green polo tucked in, lunch cooler in hand. While neighbors slept, Ginsick assembled to his car, guided by street lamps and moonlight. He is 77 years old, a Vietnam veteran, grandfather to two. He is also a part of the fastest growing age group in the labor force, people 75 and older. Now, it used to be 65 that you retire and that was it. But now they say that people are living longer. I read that somewhere, that people are living longer now. And the reason why, they should be working longer is because they're living longer, if that makes sense, I guess. On that early morning in March, he was on his way to Publix for work. Now, that's where he works, is Publix. It's a superstore in Florida. It's a place where you go and get food. It's a grocery store, basically. Americans are living longer, just as I said, and for some, continuing to work in their later years is a practical choice made for mental and social well-being. That'd be nice. I mean, if you go back to work because you want to, that's different. But if you have to go back to work because you have to, that can't be good, because a lot of people that go to work now and they have to, and they really hate it, to be honest with you. And they're in their early 20s, early 30s, early 40s. So, that goes to show you something. Imagine you're 77 and you have to go back to work. That's horrible. But for many like Ginsick, it's also a matter of necessity. Seniors work because they have to afford medical bills, mortgages, food, and occasional pleasure. Because of their fixed incomes and drained savings account, they're no longer enough to keep them afloat. As the cost of groceries, homeowners association fees, and insurance rates soar. Oh yeah, the homeowners association fees have went up. Insurance has went up. Car insurance has went up. Literally everything has gone up, to be honest with you. So, when you have a fixed rate mortgage and your insurance goes up, your mortgage also goes up because the insurance is implemented into your mortgage bill. So that is a big problem, because they are one crisis away from financial disaster and fear they will not be able to afford assisted living if their health suddenly declines. Well, that's sad. So they won't be able to have anyone look after them. Basically, assisted living, that's what it is, where you have nurses and stuff that look after their patients and make sure they're okay. They cater to all their needs, their medications, their food on time and all that stuff. So if their health deteriorates, they have no one to look after them, basically. So that's another sad thing. So hopefully, Larry, this work that he's doing now, it keeps him, in good condition. So around 5:30 a.m., Ginsick left the gated community where he and his wife Joyce bought a condo in 2021. Yeah, that was a good time to buy real estate, actually. The prices weren't too high and the interest rates were at least 2.5 at the time. So that was a pretty good buy. But no one reckoned that the insurance is going to go skyrocketing to make their mortgage payments go up and everything. So that's you can't predict something like that. This was supposed to be their final stop, a safe place to grow older together, where they'll spend their days riding bikes and along the water of having lunch with friends. Instead, Ginsick readied himself for another 8-hour shift, stocking shelves with salads and organic juices, lifting boxes of bananas and potatoes and pears. Jeez. Yeah, that'll definitely keep you in good shape, guys. You're lifting at 77 years old. exercising continuously for 8 hours, that will force you to be in good shape, to be honest with you. For a time, they were retired, but it did not last long. The Ginsicks moved to Florida from Arizona because they reckon it'll be nice to be near the water, and because Joyce and his daughter was close. Okay, well, to be honest with you, I'd rather live in Arizona and not live near the water if that was the case, and be retired and go back to work. But he is close. I mean, she is closer to her daughter, so I'm guessing that is a benefit. You know, Larry had spent decades as an electrician, Joyce as a legal assistant. Though they had their ups and downs with money, the pair reckoned that between Larry's military pension and Joyce's social security, they had enough to get by. For Joyce, 67, retirement meant the opportunity to reverse the back pain and general lethargy that had built over thousands of hours at the desk job. For Larry, who had grown up on a Colorado farm, it meant rest for his body, the first since adolescence. In retirement, Larry enjoyed golfing with neighbors, retirees from Canada. Joyce liked gardening and picking her grandkids up from school. That's actually a good point there. I mean, they live in a condo. How would you do gardening? Not to be funny or anything, but, condos don't usually generally have gardens. I don't think anyway, so that's kind of weird. But what they loved most about retirement, though, was the time they got together. They'll take long walks and talk in a way that felt different from when they were working. Yeah, when you're working, I mean, you're always at work, you're always fatigued, tired. To be honest with you don't really have time to enjoy each other. Only on the weekends, possibly, if you're off together. Some people have 2 jobs nowadays. It's more of a grind, to be honest with you, than anything else. You don't really have time to be sitting down and talking to anybody, to be honest with you. They'll take long walks and talk. In that way, it felt different from when they were working and tired. They had the energy to focus on each other, of course. About 7 months in, their budget began to break. Suddenly, it seemed everything was more expensive. Yeah, that felt like it felt like it was yesterday when prices were reasonable. First, it was groceries, the car insurance, then condo association fees shot up to $949 a month. Wow, that is crazy. I hope that's more than just the condo fees and not just the condo fees. Because if that's just the condo fees, that's $949 a month extra. That might be a little bit too much. That might be time to move, guys. I mean, that's ridiculous. Almost double the rate from when they were first moved in. Replacing aging appliances and installing hurricane windows to protect their home pushed them over the edge. Wow, that might be a bit too much. Yeah, I mean, maybe they should sell the home and go back to Arizona if it's cheaper. I mean, I don't know. In this situation, it seems like they're paying a lot of money and they're just working just to live in that place. I mean, they've done that already. They should be retired. It's American dream. When Joyce looked over their list of monthly expenses, reality sunk in. They could not make this last. Yeah, that might be difficult to make that last. Walk into any store and you'll see them. Older adults working the cash register at Walmart, sweeping the floors at Target, manning the paint at the counter at Lowe's. The number of seniors in America's workforce is growing at a rate greater than all other age groups combined. By 2030, a U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics report the projects that nearly 12% of people age 75 and older will be working more than doubling the rate in 2000. Wow, that's not good, guys. So they predict by 2030 there'll be even more people that are still working in their older ages, which isn't good. 75 and older is not a good thing to be still working, guys. I mean, that is like that's beyond retirement age, I think, my opinion. I could be wrong. You should be just enjoying your life, spending time with your grandkids and doing the things that you wanted to do when you were working your whole entire life, because you don't get a chance to. One reason for the shift is simple. In the past, the window between retirement and death was shorter, maybe 15 years. Today, people who retire in their 60s may live well into their late 80s and 90s. So there's a need for many to work longer. Now, I don't know about 60, but I know people retiring at 65 and a little bit later, but not 75. 75 might be a little, that might be going overboard, guys, to be honest with you. Yeah. Insufficient savings are another factor of promoting older adults to keep working, said Laura. A researcher at Boston College Center for Retirement Research, nearly 8% of Americans believe there is a retirement crisis. Well, I'm surprised that many people notice it, to be honest with you. Usually people are like, they're not really seeing the reality of things at the time, but 80% is actually really high, to be honest with you. According to the report released this year by National Institute of Retirement Security, more than half fear they will not be able to financially secure when they retire, if that day ever comes. Well, so they're basically saying if the day ever comes to retire, a lot of people won't even be able to afford it. Well, the day will never come if you're not ready anyway, so that really doesn't make any sense, but okay. A dearth of corporate pensions. The few employees sponsored saving plans mean that people are getting less help from the workplace than in the past. Quimby said at the time, people aren't saving on their own. More than a third of Americans said they will not be able to pay for $1,000 emergency. Wow. Without borrowing or taking out debt, according to a recent bank rate survey. Yeah, we're getting into a situation. Actually, the credit card debt it's over $1 trillion now, so people are really borrowing money now than ever before, and they don't have any savings for emergency. That's pretty sad. $1,000 is nothing, guys. I mean, in this day and age, but it's good to have a little nest egg like that. $1,000 will at least, have your back if your car breaks down or something like that. At least it's a little something. Yeah, you may be able to add a little bit more money on top of that, but at least it's a little nest egg, in a situation of getting into a problem like, your car breaking down or maybe the AC going out or something like that. In Florida, Long Haven for aging Americans with dreams of beach life on a budget. There's environmental factors adding to the financial pressures. Worsening storms have driven up insurance rates for homeowners, and state legislation requiring condos to keep reserve funds for building repairs following the Surfside collapse have contributed to the burden. Oh yeah, that's right. The Surfside collapse. That was a building that collapsed. It was called the Surfside, and all of a sudden it just collapsed, and a lot of people were deleted at that time. It was pretty sad, to be honest with you, but that's what happened when people don't really upkeep the apartments. I mean, that's the sad thing, to be honest with you. It costs money to do that also, so, I mean, meanwhile, influx of out-of-state residents saw housing prices soar. So this is Larry here, getting ready to clock in at work. He's the first person there, 77 years old, and jeez. So that's it, guys. That's the story for Larry. There's another one here, but I'm not going to go over that. But thanks for watching, guys. And this was just a short little video just to show what things are happening right now with retirement and everything. It's pretty sad. But, these things, hopefully get better. Hopefully get better, and we'll see in the future. So anyway, guys, subscribe and have a good day.